I'll say this, probably the time I got most in trouble was a friend of mine was going to study in Louvain. So like one of my best friends, and from Louisiana. And I used to go like once a month to his family's house, and we just have a blast. John Paul Blanchard, the Blanchard family in South Louisiana. And so his parents were having a going away party for him on like Labor Day weekend, you
Okay.
know, of what he's going to Louvain to study. And so I asked permission. I said, this would be great. Once these Blanchards, can we go for the farewell, the farewell party for John Paul? And they were like, no, you have to be at seminary. We have seminary Olympics that day. You have to stay and you have to be with your classmates and all of that. And
Right.
so it's pretty clear I was told not to go. Right. So it's not, it wasn't,
It wasn't vague.
It wasn't vague. It wasn't equivocal. So I mean, yeah, this is a long time ago, but we went to Raging Cajun. It's still there, right? Raging Cajun on Richmond. So we went to Raging Cajun. We're having our dinner. And by like 9 o'clock, I was so worked up. It's like, I'm going to go no matter what. I'm going to Louisiana. And literally, me and two of my buddies, all three in the seminary, and we take off like 9 o'clock at night, show up at Pierre Part 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning. And we just had toothbrush. We just took off. So we went back to the seminary, our toothbrush took off. And so when we got back to the seminary, we had obviously disobeyed. It was pretty clear. We each had notes under our door.
Whoa.
Come see me.
Is that how they gave feedback? It was like the note under the door?
Yeah, note under the door.
Okay.
Yeah, just to see. And so we got in trouble. I mean, so we got, I don't think, we may be the only people ever, but we got grounded for a weekend. So back then you had a free weekend where you could go see your parents.
Right. Same thing when I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we were told you couldn't go home to see your parents. And we had to clean all the walls of the seminary, of the dormitory. So there are 3 floors in the refectory, and we had to scrub all the walls.
That's a ton of walls.
Yeah, and I think that's the only time they've ever done anything like that. Yes.
Cruel and
so I guess it worked.
Punishment.
I guess it worked because we never did that again.
Yeah,
and also it was a way of saying the seriousness of it. But it was one of those that probably it could have been worse, a worse penalty. Do you know anyone who ever got grounded at the seminary? I think we're the only ones that ever had that
grounded
happen.
Stops at like after high school,
Right.
That's pretty amazing. They grounded you for a week.
Absolutely. So it's like all our friends, and we saw all their friends going home, and they were just rubbing it in. Like, hey,
guys.
see you, Brendan. We're going to have fun. We're going to do whatever. Hope you have a good time. And
That's so funny.
But it's like, that's back in the day. That's, now that's the 80s for us. That's how long ago? 40 years ago almost. Mm-hmm. But I do remember that. So I would be in trouble sometimes, and there's no doubt about that. And part was probably where I probably talk a lot about just on the spiritual life, it's self-will, that, my self-will as opposed to the will of another. And so sometimes with obedience, there is a certain sense of, okay, I don't understand the rules, why I'm being asked to do this, but I have to trust.
Right.
And so that was probably the hardest part for me, that formation, letting go of my will and accepting the will of the superior as the will of God for me at that moment. And so I give thanks.